So this morning, so this morning we will be starting with the Qudlaq lighting, and Lina Eevic, who is to my left, will be lighting the Qudlaq, and as she's lighting it, she will speak with you and share some thoughts and reflective kind of comments around the Qudlaq and as it relates to Inuit history, Inuit way of living, Inuit culture. So I'm going to hand over the attention to Lina at the moment here with the Qudlaq. So, Lina.
Can you hear me? Okay. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold, and I apologize for that, but nothing I can do about it, and I hope to get better very soon. Kuyanamik ulakut, tamasi ulang tamatumunga tunga suwisi tunga sutta, kuyanamilo unakuluk uvagut ilikusinganing aktok, pigarutau kuyauma ulamanna, kuviagi yagatamanna. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for this another beautiful new day, and hope to share it with you all day at this very special event. And it's my honor to have been asked to light the Qudlaq for you this morning, as it is a very significant part of where we come from as Inuit culture. So I'll just speak to it a little bit as I light it, and there's a lot of air coming down this way. Like James said, this is from our own livelihood, very ingenuitively and scientifically, for that matter, was invented by our Inuit ancestors of the Arctic. And it's amazing when we light it for our ceremonial purposes or for celebrations or just to have it in our tents or homes, but not for survival purposes, but for, to bring it back into our life. We get reminded by it about the greatness of our ancestors' resilience. And it always reminds me of how much they were the greatest knowledge keepers of the Arctic and the experts on the sea ice, on the land, around the environment, and with their relationship with our animals, everything. This Qudlaq is what we grew up with, even myself, my generation, because most of us in my generation were born on the land at the time, before settlements, and it sustained us on a daily basis with absolutely no light switches to choose, or a furnace to turn up, to warm up. Just this one little piece of Qudlaq. Actually, we would have 3 in one dwelling. But every day tended to by the woman, who's the center of the home, and hunted. The oil was hunted by the man every single day when the weather permitted. The man would go out every day, every morning, early morning, as if he was going out to work like we do today. And that was a life that we led peacefully, contently, because what we had was way beyond just the luxury of our homes today. What we had by heart, intellectually, and mentally, and physically really well clothed, was so much a big factor to our well-being. And I'm going to speak a little bit about it in my own speaking notes in a few minutes, but just wanted to share this with you in its own essence. Nakong make, thank you.
Kuyanami Lina, and good morning, everyone. So we will be taking a moment to make some reflective comments of yesterday and move right into the next session, which will include the first session will be the Deputy Minister's Q&A, and I'm going to ask Joanne Wilkinson, Dominique Blanchard, Christine Lothbaum, and Nadine Crooks to make their way to the front here. And while they're doing this, we're going to make some reflective commentary from yesterday. Yesterday, I was quite impressed with the amount of elected officials that are here from the side of the modern treaties. You know, we have our presidents, there's chiefs here, and I thought that was quite reflective of the kind of commitment that the modern treaties themselves have made to this meeting, but not just to this meeting, but to this relationship. So, so it's quite daunting at times when you look at the challenges that are before you, and I think it's the modern treaty, the treaties themselves that actually define the relationship, the direct relationship between the Crown and the Indigenous people at the table. So really, if we were to look at the relationship, the modern treaty is actually something that we have defined, that you have defined as the holder. And, you know, this really does create, the history yesterday I thought was quite helpful to understand since 1763 or something like that, you know, these modern treaties, the honor of the Crown, and we're moving right into modern day like law that actually speaks about what it takes to have this relationship. And so at this point, it's, 2017, and in some of the breakout sessions, there was some really interesting discussion around the challenges and the changes that are here, and particularly one breakout I was in was the split of that department, INAC, and what that could mean. And I was really impressed with the kind of questions that were coming from you out there and in these sessions. And I thought that, people came across as extremely willing to work with the Crown, as well as make things work for your people. So really, these, Indigenous people are looking for a renewed relationship as we check out the Qulluk. But what's going to be different? I look at who's here, and I think that's going to be interesting. What's the next chapter in these modern relationships, in these treaties? So it's going to be quite, I'm keen to learn how this unfolds, and I think for you, some of you are extremely interested in knowing what the Crown will do. There's some positive indicators, but there's also serious concerns that have, that date back to, whenever, your modern treaties were signed, or that, it can go back as late as the 1800s, So it's, some of these issues have history to them, and I can appreciate that. And So these are some of the reflective comments